The day started quiet enough, not a hint of what was to come later. We knew there was a possibility some of the monuments might be closed, but this flight had been planned for weeks, and it was the Veterans Day. We weren't going to call it off, just make the best of what we found when we got to Washington. Well, at the Washington airport, the festivities began. There's always a fuss over the veterans when they arrive here, and it takes them by surprise a little. For most of them, there wasn't this kind of welcome home, even when they came back victors from World War II.
Never got a reception like this in my life. Coming in Norfolk, Virginia, dogs and sailors keep off their grass. But this is so thrilling that I just can't words to describe it.
Behave yourselves in D.C., you guys.
Oops, he told that to the wrong group. This group of veterans from Mississippi was destined to misbehave today, because as we arrived at our first stop, the World War II monument, the first thing we saw out of the bus window were the barricades that had been put there because of the government shutdown that had happened overnight. But then, up stepped a few congressmen to the closed gates, and defying the signs and the yellow tape, opened them and invited us in.
Sir, it's my honor to escort you.
Congressman Stephen Palazzo of Mississippi followed Congressman Louis Gohmert of Texas through. Representative Steve King of Iowa put things into perspective about breaking in for these vets to see their monument. He had a group of Iowa veterans arriving just after our fellows from Mississippi.
These veterans, there's a time comes when a little civil disobedience is just exactly the right thing to do for God and country.
We continued our tour of Washington, the veterans unaware that the national media was making a heyday out of their crashing the gates, not knowing they were becoming famous, perhaps, until we got back to Gulfport that night. And you should have seen the crowd on hand to welcome them home, all the larger because these war heroes had become heroes again by ignoring politics and seeing the monument that wouldn't even be here in the capital of a nation that wouldn't even be ours anymore, had they not won the war for which the monument was erected to commemorate.